to those of you who come back. It's your girl with another video. This video is going to be a little different because it's just going to be me talking. I'm not coming with no verses. I'm not coming with no plan or strategy. I'm just going to be talking about social media. So basically, your girl has been going through withdrawal. I made the decision recently to come off of social media. I felt like this was a decision God was telling me to make for a minute that I just haven't been listening. What happens is me, the way I use social media, I come on and off. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm not gonna be on for a long amount of time. Like, I might be texting you in your DMs today and I'll respond like a week later when I come back on, because I delete it and I put it back on. I delete it, I put it back on. And I don't do that just to look cute. I do that because that's my way of trying to protect my soul. That's my way of trying to protect my soul from the stimulus that is on the devil's playground, which is social media. And so oftentimes that's what I end up doing because I don't want to get too lost in the sauce. Your girl was lost in the sauce, okay? Recently, I was lost in the sauce. I was going through, and still kind of am going through, a very low spiritual state where it's like, I'm just discouraged in ways I've never been before, just kicking it. But I'm getting back, and I feel like one of the first things I had to do was to cut off social media. You ever see somebody who's literally crying out for some type of validation or some type of encouragement? You know what I'm saying? There's some people, they be going through a lot of stuff and they come on social media and they start fronting and they start acting like life is great. Look at what I got, look at this, look at that, you know, inspirational quotes left and right, and they just fronting. It ain't that good for them. That's just their way of coping. And so with me, what I ended up doing was going on social media and just like doing a lot of posting, like a lot of posting things. Not saying that they were all bad, but there are some things that were just not necessary. And I found myself spending too much time on it. You know what I'm saying? To the point where like my day would pass me by on my phone. And when I say withdrawal, I experienced the withdrawal yesterday because I deleted my Instagram, my social media 2 days ago, and then it was yesterday when I had some free time at my house. I'm just sitting in my room, and then, you know, I noticed that the way my phone is set up, I have shortcuts on my phone. Let me show you guys. I have shortcuts on my phone. So that's how my phone is set up. Yeah, the way my phone is set, I hope I didn't just blur the video for the rest of the video. But the way my phone is set up, I have shortcuts. So what would happen is, over the past 2 days since I deleted my Instagram, I would go and click and nothing would show up. Like, it's crazy. And it came to my mind like how dependent I was on Instagram, how dependent I was on social media, how much time I was actually spending, to the point where I open my phone and I default to like pressing the app and then nothing's showing up because I deleted the app. You know what I'm saying? And so I realized that, yo, I really let social media consume me. I really came to a point where I spent entirely too much time, and I just came to a point where I just laid on the bed and I was just like, God, I feel weird. I feel so weird because I feel like something's missing. And that's always going to happen. Whenever you cut things out of your life that the flesh likes, you're always going to feel weird. And I call this stage withdrawal. It's like you're taking away a drug. You're taking away a dependency that you used to have. A dependency that was not good for you, whether it be social media, whether it be, you know, I don't know, just insert sin. Just insert a time waster. Insert something that brings you far from God. Whenever you get, you know, to a point where you remove yourself from that, you start to feel weird. A lot of us go wrong where it's like when we experience that withdrawal, we go backwards because we're not comfortable. But oftentimes you have to be uncomfortable to grow. Like, that uncomfortable feeling is an indicator that you're doing something right. And that's something that I needed to do. I needed to feel uncomfortable. I needed to lay on my bed and just feel weird with no social media. And you know what I ended up doing? I ended up opening the Bible app and listening to Psalms in the middle of the day. Okay, but before that, what was I doing? I was on social media. I was wasting time. I was looking at people's posts, looking at people atting me, you know, talking about, oh, she throwing shade. I was doing a lot of foolishness on social media, and that was aiding me in getting further and further and further away from God, to the point where I look up and I'm like, yo, where is God? Where is God? Like, and it's like I felt like I allowed all this stuff to get to me. And another thing that we tend to do oftentimes when we're down and we're low, it's like we go to social media hoping that they will give us what we need, give us the validation. Or you post a post and you'll think you're waiting for people to like you, you're waiting for people to reassure you and say, oh yeah, you got it, oh yeah, you're good, you popping, girl, you keep going. You're waiting for people to encourage you. Meanwhile, God's just looking at you like, that's my job, that's what I do. So I'm gonna let you try and find it there, but when you figure out that it's not gonna be there, I'm be here waiting for you to come to me so I can mend your heart, okay? And oftentimes that's what we do. We look to people on social media, we look to the likes, we look to the comments, we look to the interaction to kind of mend a wound or to kind of like heal us. And it's like, if you're hurting and if you're pain, the last thing you need to do is be on social media subbing people. The last thing you need to do is be on social media, you know, complaining and ranting and doing all this stuff, or trying to create a facade of a life that you wish you had or a life that you don't have. That's the last thing you need to do. And it's like, that's just a trap that a lot of us be falling into, you know. And another thing about social media is this: social media gives a lot of people voices who should probably not have voices. So you're able to talk about things you probably should not be talking about, you probably don't have the experience for, you probably don't have the education or the knowledge or the understanding or wisdom for. You're able to talk about them, and it's like everybody has an opinion, everybody has something to say, everybody has something to share, and it's so easy to be lost in that sauce. And so if you're somebody who's going through something or you're trying to grow spiritually, I would suggest a lot of time away from social media. So that's what I'm coming to now. I'm like, yo, I want to get back to God how I was before, where I actually would read the Bible all the time. And I'm just like, yo, what is going on? Because I haven't been reading my Bible, I haven't been praying much, like, yo. And it really stuck to me when I realized I wasn't reading my Bible as much as I used to, because that was my thing. Like, it's on my bed right now. It's my thing. Like, me and the Bible, we used to be in it. And then I look up and I realize I'm not reading it no more. I said, God, I really hit rock bottom. And I'm here on social media just bleeding all over people. So I had to go through it. I had to go through the withdrawal. I sat there and I felt weird. And there's probably going to be a lot of times that I'm going to feel weird moving forward. Like, you don't understand the amount of times I wanted to post something. Like, over the weekend, I was redoing my room. As y'all can see, I got a new setup. I was redoing my room. The old setup I had was my parents, you know, supplied it for me. I'm forever grateful for them. But I got a new setup in my room. And I just wanted to show Instagram everything, like, yo, look at my new background, look at this, look at that. And I just felt the urge, but I'm like, I'm not downloading it again. No, we're not doing that. And then sometimes you get a little slick, like, oh, I'm just gonna go so I could talk about God. No, we're not doing that. We're not gonna go on to talk about God. We're going to delete it, because that's what God said. For me personally, that's what God said. He's been saying it for a minute because he saw how I was straying. Okay, so a lot of us, we need to hear what God is saying and hold on to that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of making excuses. I'm not going back on. I'm not even gonna open Facebook. I told myself no. So I'm just gonna have to go through it. I'm just gonna have to go through the weird feeling of not being able to post, the weird feeling of not being able to interact or communicate, or, you know, it's okay. It's worth it, because if that's what I have to do to get back to spiritual health, it is absolutely 1000% worth it. And so I encourage you guys today, whatever you need to get away from, whatever withdrawal you got to do to get back close to God, do it. You're going to feel uncomfortable, but you have to be willing to feel uncomfortable. You have to be willing to feel weird. You have to be willing to feel lonely at times. You have to be willing to feel bored at times. Whenever you're bored, fill it in with spending time with God. Fill it in with reading your word. Fill it in with praying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt bored. Like, what am I gonna do now? I turned on the Bible app. Fill it in with something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna go through it. Withdrawal is not easy. It's tempting, especially when you are not filling it in with anything. The enemy has the opportunity to start filling your mind with different suggestions as to what you should do in order to ease the symptoms of the withdrawal. But cut it out. cut it cold turkey and fill it in with God and his presence. So hope this video helped. Keep me in y'all prayers as I'm journeying back to my Lord and Savior. Not saying that I left the faith or anything. I'm just saying, like, I gotta kick it with him just as much as I was kicking it with him before. So until next time, see y'all next time.